Okay, here we go. After Party 32, where we're going to talk about sessions 95. You're my brown-eyed Papio.
You didn't say that right. You didn't
Oh,
have
I
the
didn't.
pause. The comma. We discussed the comma.
Brown-eyed Papio.
Thank you. We had a lot of discussion, Emily and I, over whether or not the comma was appropriate or it should have been an ellipses.
Yeah.
Also, you've ruined that song for me forever, and
I
used to like
did not
it because I
ruin
have
it.
brown eyes.
Matthew
Bill
and
ruined it.
Bill collaborated on ruining that song for all of us.
I used to really like that song.
So let's just hit them one by one there. You want to say anything more about that title you came up with there?
Well, I think it's, a quick Google. Papio is just the genus in which baboons belong to.
And we all did have to Google it.
Didn't want to spoil anything in the title for the listener before they got to the to Bud Boone.
Yeah, I think there was some Twitter images put up. Matthew, did we cross the line when we put our baboons winking at you?
I forgot how much baboon butt was in that recording until now, actually. So, and I did actually notice a few memes going around. I was like, what is this in reference to? And now it's all flooding back to me.
Why are they posting baboons? All right, 96, Thunderbolt and Lightning, followed up by 97, Very, Very Frightening.
Me.
We must, we're on a music trend here on our titles.
Apparently.
We've had other musical titles before.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Okay, so let's jump into 95. We're going to start out, we teleported to the docks.
Well, before, I mean, we've already heard him speak, but Matty J himself has joined us.
In the house!
Oh, yeah.
For the after
Oh, yeah,
party.
hi!
I forgot to introduce you after we already talked.
He's just really lonely.
I'm just lonely. It's just so bizarre to be with other people. It's fantastic. Hello, I'm Matthew Jude. I like Matty J. I do like it, if I'm honest. But it's a hard sell.
Please, John, proceed.
We can cut the silences out.
I was leaving a dramatic pause to get started.
You were leaving an awkward silence.
All right.
Well, call it what you will.
Actually, Matthew was winking and hoping we could pick up what he was trying to say.
Yes. I do speak wink.
Morse code situation.
So does that baboon.
He's unbuckling his belt.
Oh, no. He was winking, not with his brown eye.
Oh, Jesus.
That's right. Okay, so
I knew what to expect from an after party, but I didn't. Anyway, go on. Then what happened?
It's chaos.
So we were started out down at the docks. Everything was destroyed. Dreg was exhausted. He used his last little bits of magical energy, apparently, getting us down there.
Wimp.
And then we started to we left out and saw these floating tentacle brain creatures, which later we called the Grell, and along with a cultist who very quickly turned on his compatriots and started attacking him, even before we attacked, I believe, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I figured that if I didn't kind of show who I wanted to be attacked by and who I didn't want to be attacked by, I was going to get attacked. And I didn't have that many health points. So I didn't want to die immediately. So yeah, I was like, screw these, Grell. I'm out. I'm outie. I didn't end up actually leaving, but I gave him my best
Spoilers.
shot. It's fine.
So you immediately turn on him, and then I recognize you from the, or Shaft recognizes you from the ritual.
The ritual, yeah.
We have we get to that in a second, but we sort of look at each other and give each other a wink so we know, hey, we could be on the same team here, even though you guys were all on a different team from Shaft.
Yeah.
We still feel that we could be on the same team, even though it would be the wrong team.
It's all
But you just traded. You just stabbed the people on the other team.
I've already proven myself to be a traitor, which is never the best way to join a
Yeah,
party.
it's a good way to start.
Well, you know what? I Basically, the two of you were thieves canting to each other, is what I've
Essentially,
figured out.
Oh, I like that. Matthew, I have to ask, did you have the line ready that you're hoping for bards, guitars, there's a lot of tentacles, but no action?
No, I didn't have that line.
That was such a good line. I was hoping for an orgy. A lot of tentacles.
Yeah, I got that.
I think I came with that up on the fly, I think, which is good.
What is thieves can't?
It's like
That's
speech.
a
It's like a
secret language.
secret language that like thieves can do to talk to each other. Like when they're at the bar, gonna do a deal, and they can go slibble, and everyone knows.
Bryn
they
had
know,
it.
They know.
Rip.
Yeah, rogues automatically know it. And it's kind of like, I don't know, it's very abstractly described, but it's almost like kind of this mixture of sign language and
Right.
like kind of verbal components or kind of thing.
What is Thunder's class? What is he?
I
Well,
thought he was
he
a
did
rogue.
say
He said sneak attack. Right?
Sneak attacks.
Yeah, Thunder was a rogue, just an elf, half elf rogue. He was basically the same, a wood elf, but rogue. He was the same class as Bryn, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
Bryn.
so
we'll
Bill,
bring
to
that
help
up
you
later.
out, Thieves Cant is 90% winking.
It's canon.
That's a spark cannon, yeah.
I think all these rogues fancy each other. I see it as like a really subtle baseball ref, like coach or something like that. You know,
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You squat down and you start...
Does his hat not
Swirling
fit, or what's
fingers.
happening over here?
There's some licking and spitting going on and stuff, right? That's they
It's
do
got
that a lot.
the weird loop-de-loop fingers
I don't know.
between
I don't
the
watch
legs.
baseball. What do I know?
Well, like a catcher, right? They like squat down. It's like
Yeah,
between
just
their
doing all
legs.
this.
Awkward.
With some chewing tobacco. It's great.
So so we discussed briefly how Leland is burning through all of our resources. I think Shakara was going to. What were you going to do?
Smite.
You were going to smite.
Oh yeah, you
It's
should.
my
use
last spell slot, and I saved it.
And then that comes very closely after is the first of the cussing that didn't actually make you sort of tapered off. You said I dodged that mother, and you sort of. And after that, I think we had a couple other misses in these episodes, and it's really surprising how little or how great Leland catches all those, because there's quite a few more typically in a recording session.
This
So you caught yourself. Good job.
this recording in particular was quite difficult to edit around. I will tell you. I mean, there were at least 2 distinct occasions where I had to tell the lot of you to shut the fuck up so we could continue on with playing. One of which I think made it into an episode.
There was for sure a part where I was like, okay, so when you guys are done,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rich.
we were a little excited to record with someone that knew the show. Was pretty
Oh,
exciting,
the
to be
next
honest.
Oh,
time
yeah.
we play, though, is going to be so bad because it's been so long.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Leland's
That's
going to
true.
be hating life.
So we do have a little bit of the battle. We have a point where Falzarin, we mentioned he uses his special rocks to line up the catapult. And this has happened many times in the past. Rocks are usually just laying around everywhere, but he has very special ones that he likes to use. You should actually put your name on those or somebody's
Oh,
name
yeah.
on them.
I had
Well-
that in my notes.
You want to make sure that the rocks have the correct aerodynamics, and it's not just any rock that will do.
It's like skipping stones. You got to have the right one.
The thing is, though, if you fling a rock at someone and it doesn't kill them instantly, there's no denying it if it says Falzarin on it. Right?
That's right.
Who did this? Oh, it literally says
Falzarin was
on this
here.
personalized rock.
I just wanted to mention that he tried catapult again, denied. He just tries really, really hard. Oh, these guys look like they're in a line, don't they, Leland?
They're never in a line.
You're on a
or
grid.
else-
It's because you have to line it up to the grid. It's either up or down, orthogonal or diagonal. That's what a line is on a grid.
I think thematically he's sort of walking around and looking,
Trying to line it
and
up.
walking around looking and screw it.
This
I
is
put the rock back in his
impossible.
pocket. he's like a camera. It's lined up with a picture. Hey, over about 5.
A
Although
little bit
going
to the
from,
left.
although going from listening to the show to being on it and being able to see where, like in Roll20, seeing where things were lined up, I don't know if I side a bit more with Leland now. It's like because They weren't in a line. They just weren't. It's like, maybe these are in a line. It's like, no, then they're not. There's no way he's going to allow this at all.
Doesn't stop me from trying.
If you get rocks with the right curvature, they could actually maybe.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I think you should be able to do.
Curve.
Is that how that works?
Angelina Jolie do
bend
that?
it like Beckham.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I did say, I mean, you could have attempted, but if it had missed the first grell, Shakara would have had to make a check as next in line.
Worth the risk.
So.
Yeah, that's no good.
Shakara's really dexterous. Apparently. In this episode, she's like, no, I dodged
it.
Oh, okay. All right.
So there were, I would just want to say, like, the Thunder is pretty lucky. Like, other than Russell, he's the second cultist that the party has come across that they haven't murdered. So, congratulations, Thunder.
I feel like I endeared myself to the party. I feel, starting off as a cultist is a bad first step. I'm going to admit that. That's fine.
Well, but you joined accidentally, so
Yeah.
Oh, that backstory is
allowances
hilarious.
have to be given.
I love it.
Russell was pissed off as well. Russell was really angry about the whole experience that he had with you.
You try and do somebody a favor, and that's what you get in return.
Well, most of this group has made bad decisions multiple times. I believe Falzarin and Shakara mainly.
No bad decisions
Mia
here.
just hasn't had a chance to make any really bad decisions yet.
Well, I mean, Thunder exists because Mia decided not to kill Terry. And so it's actually, I should get the pat on the back for the best NPC guest creation ever.
You decided not to use your hammer to smash his head into a wall.
I thought he could be useful, but you guys didn't.
I can see how you think that. So, So anyway, the next thing that happens is we get to the bag of tricks, Thunder's bag of tricks, and he rolls a 3, and out comes our good friend the baboon, who lasts, I don't know what, a round?
He's the real distraction. It's a great technique.
But we did give him a name. I think it was Buttboon.
Buttboon.
And, and then we discussed, giving the old brown eye wink. And
at length.
We did. So we've already hit on all
Ad
that.
nauseum.
But I think you did make. I think as soon as we talked about the brown eye wink, you made a comment of something like, "Oh, I think we've already hit rock bottom." In the conversation, and we all
he lowered himself to our level, is what he said.
Yeah. We said there's still plenty of room down below that we have to go, as you found out as the episode. So then we were fighting the grill, the tentacles, and let's see, the baboon got his neck snapped. Then we eventually, we don't have a lot of the battle back and forth, but eventually towards the end, the Grell were just basically committing Grellicide, right?
Attacking themselves, yeah.
Beaking themselves to death.
I forgot about that, yeah.
That happened a bunch, actually, didn't it? That happened multiple times in that fight. Where no, Shakara's fine.
Can we just mention real quick that Matthew joins our podcast, and within like 15 minutes, things are killing themselves. Just gotta say.
Thank you.
I was actually hoping we could avoid touching on that.
You know what? He says it a lot, so
I have that
think
effect
he's
on people.
Proud of.
Oh no!
You say it once per podcast you're on, at least. So I mean,
Sure.
come on, it's not that inappropriate to mention.
It's
you
called
guys.
branding. It's pretty.
It's brand. It's on brand. The Grells are on brand.
That's it. Your podcast has got a brand. It's just like abstract chaos. It's great.
I like that. Can you put that? Let's put that on our website. Right?
Ooh.
Abstract chaos.
Instead of running
Yeah, I
amok,
like
it's
that.
abstract chaos.
Yeah, they're very similar, but I do like abstract chaos better. So we do then officially meet Thunder McScruggins, who explains to us how he accidentally joined a cult and he just fell in with some bad people, especially his friend Terry
Had
Russell.
a bad month. Had nothing better to do.
Everybody has, those months where you do something like join a cult and,
A moment
and
of
realize
weakness.
maybe after killing multiple people and hiding their bodies, which he's an expert at, by the way.
He just says what he's supposed to say. He doesn't know what he's saying.
Well, right, but I mean, everybody makes bad decisions, and we all sort of bought into that, I think. We all gave him a pass. And it's not like we haven't killed many people and hid bodies before, too.
Yeah, he said, who hasn't done some bad things? Let them throw the first barking stone.
That's right.
That's a pretty good line. I'll say.
That was a good line.
Yeah, it was good.
Now, those have smiley faces on them.
Yeah, they do.
Yes.
They are marked.
Those are marked. They don't say, like, falls or anything, but...
Well, we just didn't want to have a 15-minute scene in the show where we were looking for a barking stone amongst a pile of rocks, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well,
At least we'd have advantage.
They do have a DC to find them, so you could lose them.
With a smiley face, we should have advantage for sure.
Maybe. The only one has a
That's
smiley
true.
face. Not all 6 of them. No,
What?
No, you're not getting all 6.
Really?
Did we put smiley faces on both sides of the rock?
I don't
Next
know.
one.
I guess that's DM's interpretation. So, yeah. Shaft, can you roll the D100, please? Above 50, it landed face up. Below,
I'm pretty
it's face
sure.
down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I only marked it on one side. One smiley face on it.
Heads or tails? We could draw a head on one side and a tail on the other.
Yeah. Is that the rock? No. Roll again. Is that the rock? No. What are you doing with the rocks that you're not too... I'm just throwing them back on the ground.
Give the people the content they want.
And everybody but Falzarin gets a long rest.
So, yeah, Thunder does tell us that he's there to greet Wave 2, which the way I understood that as Shaft was essentially he would be there at the dock and then point up the hill, because there's really only one way to get to the city from the dock. So you don't really need somebody to come and guide you, really, as you just go that way.
It's more of a formality, It's good to have some kind of
Welcome
system.
committee. Yeah.
Did you get the feeling that you were just a schlep and they were just trying to find something for you to do?
I think they didn't want me near any of the drama because I'm too important to them in the long run in the story.
Okay.
That's how I felt about it, but I'm now seeing that might not have been, in fact, the case. Just go and greet the boat. Go and do that. That'll be fine.
Just get the hell out of here.
Yes,
Did
just
you hear that?
go.
We got Thunder McScruggins to go greet the boat. What an idiot.
It's kind of like my dad. My dad, when he was had it up to here with us, he would just be like, "Kids, just go play in traffic." That's what he would say.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think all of our parents said that.
Yeah. Go to
I
the
got that
bottom of the hill, turn around, and point to the top of it. Can you handle that?
They're all snickering. Terry's back in the... I told him to go greet the
He's
boat.
pointing out to sea. Oh, God. My favourite one I heard of that was someone who said that their dad would make them go outside and wash the trees.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
With like water and just a bucket of water and a sponge. Go outside and wash the trees.
Oh my gosh! All right,
That's a good one.
That's one of the best I've heard, I think.
But they had the cleanest trees in town. That's nothing to...
No moss
That's
on
what
those
that family
trees.
was known for.
until
All the
that
neighbors
kid.
are out there scrubbing their trees down. Bastards with their clean
Well,
trees next door.
that's exactly like the first. As soon as someone puts their Christmas lights up, everybody has their Christmas lights up.
That's right. So, after a little bit more interrogation of Thunder, we find out that not only does he want off the island, but he has taken the barrel that we were questioning to Erica. He said that he throws it over his shoulder, of course, but
We all know
when
that
talked
wasn't
a little
true.
bit more, after we sort of gave him that can't be. He did explain how he did have 3 baboons that did help. So that
Almost
made-
3.
Almost
Yeah.
3. That's right.
Almost 3. I don't know what that means, but
I don't think we need to know that.
Followed up immediately after with "Please don't kill me again." So
oh man,
he
I'm so
he
lonely.
was
Don't kill
pretty
me.
concerned that we were going to kill him a number of times. But every time we asked him a question and he
I
gave us
think
an
it was
answer, we would all
concern was
go,
warranted.
"Oh, why didn't you tell us that before?" And don't kill me. So yeah, we moved the Grell bodies out when Wave 2 was coming in. Well, Thunder, of course, was amazing at hiding dead Grell bodies. Falzern, on the other hand, rolling a 1, was actually pulling him back into view most of the time, undoing everything Thunder had been doing. But
Oh, man.
but that's where we learn he is an expert at moving dead bodies, which we should be, really. at this
Yeah.
point.
Well,
most of the time we don't bother to hide them,
Yeah,
though.
we
That's
haven't done
true.
a very good job of
Kill
covering
and
up
leave
our
it.
tracks.
I don't know what's worse, the death or the littering. It's terrible.
The
Well, it
pollution.
decomposes, right?
It's organic
It's
material.
biodegradable. Yeah.
Time, for sure.
The fine is about the same in Aspara.
Is it?
And who's
We've
patrolling
not,
that?
we've not stuck around long enough to get caught yet.
Well, I mean, you all technically kind of have no fixed address here, so where are they going to send the paperwork to?
I suppose Falsey had one, but that's probably not there anymore. Let's
Yeah,
face it.
well,
Yeah.
mail definitely isn't getting to Heracleon right now.
Somebody just goes up and knocks on the safety shell. Excuse me, I got parcels for you.
That's it.
Oh yeah, a little window opens
Yeah,
up.
right to
He has a
the
ring.
mail slot.
Mailman has a ring, right?
Yeah.
Wait, so that ship he was greeting wasn't the mail ship? I thought that was the...
Wait, how'd you get that ring? Oh, our entire fleet has one. Has
right.
their own ring.
Nobody knows
They're a
about
dime
it.
a dozen.
The mailman.
It'll be like that metal cube. They're for sale somewhere at a dime
That
a
would be
dozen.
so good. They're just like
We just don't know
two
where.
copper pieces somewhere.
Yeah.
But the mailman will have to go to the exact same spot because there's only certain spots on the safety shell that react to the ring, right, Leland?
Right.
Yeah, it's a mail slot.
I mean, we could wish for copper pieces, Matthew, but they don't exist in Aspire. It's one gold piece or above for everything.
Yeah, everything.
You should
Do
know
I
this by
find a platinum piece? No, you don't. You don't find it.
No, you do not.
I don't know how many times
Stop
I've asked for
asking.
platinum.
Yeah. Well, Aspara doesn't like to exchange money.
That's
They
it.
just go 100% gold.
Just
it
gold
makes
or
it
nothing.
so
It's much
easier.
simpler. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like getting rid of the penny. Why have those just lying around? You may as well just round it.
I did work this out once when I was listening to the show, and I was like, man, for the same price it costs to buy a bag of holding, I could live in an inn for half a year.
Right.
I was like,
Not really a nice end, though. A
But I was
gold piece is
thinking-
pretty shitty.
in my mind, I was like, that would be so ace if that was the way life was. It'd be great. But yeah, so I'm not judging your economy. I would never do that.
We all judge it. Judge it. We all have. We do
Judge
constantly.
it, judge it.
I think what
This
you're
is really interesting.
what
though.
he's saying is it should be more.
No.
He's saying that's a bargain. That's what I'm hearing.
True.
Matthew, what have you done?
If you had a choice between having rent free for 6 months or having a bag that you could put
Dead
bodies in.
into.
The
Body
bag's a
bag
the
of
bag is a bad example because you could live in the bag. I suppose that's the thing, right? You could.
Well,
only
no.
for a minute.
Yeah,
And then
you
you
can't
suffocate.
Oh,
live
yeah,
in
'cause
the
you-
bag.
yeah.
You can
10,
suffocate.
10 minutes at a time, yeah. There's 10 minutes of terror there.
Just keep revivifying yourself.
I remember when Body Bag of Holding came up, and I thought that was probably one of the best things I've ever heard in my entire life. I was so.
I love that
was
he
like-
sang it.
It was so good.
So good.
It was so good.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so the next thing I have written down is Shakara does not scamper.
Yeah.
Just straight up fact.
You know what that just reminds me of? Is like, one does not walk into Mordor.
Oh, does not simply walk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just heard that Emily pissy voice that I'm so used to
Oh.
when you said Shakara scampers and she corrected you, and I was like, wow, welcome to my world.
Oh my gosh. Just wait for all the boys in this podcast to be like, let's look at the calendar. Yep, okay, that's fine. Ignore it. It's just
Hey,
so sexist.
you're putting words in my mouth that aren't
Whoa,
there.
you jumped to that one. Holy.
God, I thought I was pushing a line.
Hey,
but
what we
my
say in
God.
our Galentine's chat stays in our Galentine's
You know
chat.
what? We do have a girls only chat. No, I was watching Parks and Rec, and the city council members all keep track of Leslie's cycle to just ignore her if she's on period. Anyway, sorry. Cut that. Patreon only content.
Moving
There
right
we go.
along.
Moving right-
All right,
I'm
so
on brand, okay?
the Wave 2 creatures, Wave 2 arrives. We all sort of hidey. And I wrote down there was 5, well, at least what was described, 5 cultists, 10 creatures. The how did you say it? The Catabalupus?
Cattlebleepers. Yeah, the catos. The cats.
Like, why even come up with that name is what
I know,
you're
it's a
saying.
really dumbass name. If someone out there knows how to actually say it, please message me the phonetic pronunciation.
Please, don't let us know. Just laugh.
Because I did try to Google it. Nothing.
I mean, it's not like you say everything right all the time. It's fine.
I have never mispronounced a word in the history of this podcast. We're almost at 100 fucking episodes, and I have never mispronounced a word in my life.
They come from this southern cavern. That's where they come from.
Exactly.
That's right.
Cavern.
We gotta escape it, yeah.
I don't get the escape thing. I'm saying
There was
escape
another
properly.
one. There's another
Escape.
one in episode 97. Was
Not
it
E.
obscured
No, it's
instead of
escape.
obscured?
No, it's not.
There was a word in episode
Obscured.
97. Listeners,
There was
I don't know what
also one episode where I said the word metal weird. I said metal. Yes, it's very metal. What was I describing? I can't remember, but I remember hearing it like, wow, I can't believe no one's called me on that one.
We
Honestly,
figured,
I think we just
no,
gave
if
up.
we stopped
really.
the podcast, every time you say something weird, we'd never get anything finished.
Yeah. In 97, I for sure had to, like, tell myself.
You should be able to see on the screen when everybody sort of looks at each other and smiles.
Yeah, I usually just raise my eyebrows. I'm like,
I always,
what
as soon as
did
you
he
say
just
something, I look down at Bill, and you can always tell Bill's smiling.
Bill is an English major.
Wait,
You know what, though? He's been to every goddamn school across all of Ontario, apparently, so I bought it.
And
I buy
Alberta.
into it.
there was a humble bundle, post-secondary education humble bundle.
Humble bundle on
On
college.
degrees?
Yeah, it was a good deal.
And the last thing was 4 doppelgangers, which we find out. So yeah, Wave 2 had some shit coming in. Now,
Emily's dead.
was there only 5 cultists with these 10, whatever you call them, and the 4 doppelgangers, or was there more stuff in Wave 2?
Just call them
that we
stinky
just-
beasts.
That's what you saw get off the ship.
Okay. Because that's not that much for a full ship.
You think we could have taken them?
But
Yeah,
they
those sort of
apparently
below
have
deck.
a ton of ships to spare. They have a ton of these
We
things.
know of 5.
12.
From
No, there were 12 attacking the
really?
city with cannons.
This
is another one.
There were
Or were there 6?
6.
6. I thought there was.
Thought it was
There's
half
6
dozen.
plus
But
another
6
one that just
plus
arrived.
Grimby's.
Emily, math.
So Matthew,
I'm
any
an
theories
artist.
on?
I don't need a math.
Any theories on where Grimby is right now?
Just
I'm a
having a
mathematician.
good time, wondering why his friends haven't spoke to him in who knows how long, worrying
He's
about...
sitting around, not letting any noise come. He's waiting for the message.
I was told not to get a crew until they came back. So I've been here running this ship on my own.
See, the Rising 3 is just listing out in the middle of the ocean because he's got no fucking crew for it. And he's sitting there, it's like, I'm sending letters to Heracleon. Why is no one writing me back?
He's running out of those crystal fuel things.
Yeah.
Yeah. There
Or
is
it
a
could
time
be.
limit.
Because we all took some.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
totally
dude.
forgot about them. Just like
Oh, I'm
every
going to
other
take
thing.
a handful of these too for science reasons. Yeah.
For science.
I think Grimby's hanging out with Alamar right now,
Oh,
and
jeez.
Alamar is going through and finding the vial that he's looking for.
He's
That's what I
Alamar's
think's
like
going on.
Uber. Alamar's like, hey. Grimby's
Well,
like,
he was
I
going
can't
down
take
to the
you.
docks. He had
Yeah.
an important thing to do.
Grimby can be bought.
Oh no! Oh, Grimby.
So that would be fun. That'd be cool.
Grimby, no, I trust Grimby as much as or more than Dreg.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay,
Now, when I say that, I mean Shaft trusts him in a way that other people like Shaft trust each other.
Sure, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's still relative to the shaft scale. You measure it
That's right.
against the shaft, and you never quite measure up,
Yes.
but you at least know where you stand.
How does
That's
Shaft
right.
feel when Dreg gave his ring to Falzarin? I mean, that's pretty ballsy, man.
Well, Shaft was trying to get the ring,
Yeah.
even though he didn't know the ritual, and then Falzarin sort of... Well, we didn't get to there yet, did we?
No.
Pretty close.
No,
We're
not
pretty
there yet.
close.
Yeah.
We are close. So so after we saw the Wave 2 come in, we discussed what we wanted to do for a while.
As always, I mean,
Shaft says, "Do you want to tell your friends, Falzarin?" And then Mia immediately says, "Who? The Tritons?"
Yeah.
So we do.
It was a choice. It was a choice. I
everybody-
stand by. Okay.
Whenever we meet new people, we like to get them up to speed on where we
Yeah.
are. Pretty much, it doesn't matter, Murderous, traitorous, cultist. They tend to be the ones we tell the most to. Right?
That's why I was worried about staying alive. It's like, I don't want to know these things.
Yes,
Just
please
don't tell me.
do not tell me too much.
Which takes us right to 95, where the first thing we talk about is how Terry Russell tells us how we're
96.
terrible people, but we it's the end, still at the end of 95. You're terrible people, but you do talk a lot. So yeah, Terry knows our MO.
I remember that when it was in the actual show, and it was just like, cool, so you've had that whole conversation, and that cultist is still tied up right in front of you.
Yeah, he doesn't
then-
remind us.
And then you did it again immediately after.
Yeah, we did. Directly afterwards.
Just to remind you, that cultist
Grant.
is right in
How
front of
long
you.
ago that was when you first got to Heraklion?
Yeah, because when you got off the boat, yeah.
5 minutes in Heraklion.
I mean, really, it was only 2 days ago, but it was like
right after we
50
see
episodes.
the thing get crushed, right? And
Yeah.
we see the body turn in, we
Yeah.
go, we can't trust anybody around here. So,
you earmuffs, cultist.
Terry.
Earmuffs.
Terry, let's get you up to speed. Oh, don't try to run away. Wait.
Now, is Terry Russell? Is that name sounds familiar? Is that from something?
There's a cricketer, or was a cricketer, called Jack Russell, which is pretty famous in Britain. But none of you will know that.
famous everywhere except
Exactly
for
where
If
I
you're
got
thinking
it.
of Kurt Russell and Russell Crowe, is that?
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
I was thinking of Carrie Russell. That's what
I was
I'm saying.
thinking of Terry Crews. I think.
Yeah, yeah. Can
Who
you imagine
isn't?
if that's what the cultists look like?
I love Terry Crews.
Which Russell is most like a traitorous dick cultist of all those names that you had? Because that's who you were thinking of,
Definitely the cricket player.
Yeah.
I was going to go with Jack as well, yeah.
right? Okay.
He's
good. Yeah, I wanted
he's
to-
notorious for not being a good team player.
Jack Russell's.
Although his stats are really good, though, despite not working with the team.
his
What
batting
kind of
average,
stats are there in cricket, Leland?
We don't know.
Well,
He's gonna make
there's
it up,
Lots
just
of
wait.
lots. There's like too many. Like we're not a cricket podcast, so we can talk after off mic, and we can probably get into it if you're really interested.
Expertly deflected.
I can't wait, really. I'm going to make a note of it. So 96 pops in. I thought was a fine joke, and nobody picked up on it.
Oh no!
I didn't even
Where
pick up
I
on it the
said-
second time through.
I said to Matthew, can you take all these bad ideas and line them up, this chaos, and line them all up in order? And nobody got it. Did
What-
you get it, Matthew? Or
Order
you
out
know
of
what the hell I'm
chaos?
talking about?
Oh yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, I didn't. That's an excellent reference. If only I was on the ball.
Yeah. Exactly.
That is your newest podcast, so you're forgiven for not
I
remembering
never know-
everything that you do.
I never know when we're recording that. Dan Hughes takes control of that, and he just every now and again says, "Hey, do you want to record a podcast?" And I go, "Yeah," and that's it. I put a lot of work into the other shows that I do, and it's really nice to have a podcast that I can be on that I just literally just have to turn up for.
Just
It's
show up.
like, it's
Yeah.
oh, it's amazing. It's the best feeling.
Yeah,
in
we
the
like
world.
that too.
It must feel really great. Yeah.
It's great. Unlike
I can
every other
relate,
podcast
buddy.
I do, which takes days to organize and write.
Well, actually, I can relate to the part about just showing. I can't relate to the part about spending a lot of time preparing for a show.
I think you should just be very thankful. that
Falzarin's
Leland is
character
willing.
sheet is like 12 levels old.
There's just so
And
much
we're only level
scribblings
8.
all over it. It's a nightmare.
black hole of items, I imagine.
Yeah.
It's wild space, really.
I've still got 3 of these beads left. This is amazing.
These Benoit beads.
Those the ones.
All
All
right.
right, there.
So-
you
so
tell
that-
me I cross it.
That joke was a reference to Matthew Jude's newest podcast, Order from Chaos, for anyone who hasn't connected the Benoit beads.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There was 3 of these
Gotta
earlier.
connect those Benoit dots, yeah. Otherwise, you'll lose them.
Oh,
right.
no. What have I started?
There will be no going to the emergency room today by anybody.
Where are we?
Right.
Did we get to the creepy aura yet? What's happening?
So the next thing I had down after everyone ignores John's jokes is
What's
Thunder.
important is we talked about it, though. That's what's really important.
Do you feel heard?
I feel a little better now.
Good.
Okay, good.
Okay, so yeah, we talk about your bag of tricks, where you do mention that sometimes you do eat what you pull out of your bag of tricks. I just wanted to mention that.
In a pinch,
Disgusting.
you have
pinch,
to.
that's right. Now, for the bag of tricks, how does that work?
You just put your hand in, and you don't know what you're going to get, and you see what you get, and that's dinner. That's how it works.
How often is it a live animal?
It's always a live animal.
Oh, okay.
You have to roll it's a tan bag of tricks, and you roll a d6, and there's 6 options. Or is it? It's a d6. I'm pretty sure.
Do you remember what the other options were other than baboon?
No, I don't at all. But I knew that they were all relatively hilarious.
Oh,
well, I'm sure they're all edible, but
we got a giant weasel in '97.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I think
right,
one
the
is
weasel.
a tiger. I think Matthew mentioned that in one of the episodes.
Tiger would be cool.
Now, where did you come across this item?
Oh, it's in the
my-
Dungeon Master book. It's just
is it?
standard item. Yeah.
Gotcha.
No. Where did Thunder McStruggins get it?
On his travels.
Struggins.
That's not what
On
I was
his
asking.
travels.
but
On
yeah,
his
that's a better
travels.
Is
question.
his name's Thunder McStruggins because he's
McScruggins.
struggling?
Yeah.
It's okay. He
Thunder
struggles.
McStrugglings. That's it.
You're such a struggle.
And how did you come up with that name, Matthew?
Well, Thunder McScruggins is the name of the mascot for my podcast, FI Monsters. And the real Thunder McScruggins is at Nick Murphy's house, who's on that podcast, and it was made by you. So it's great. Yes. And it's really cool. Although I do have a mini McScruggs somewhere around here, which you made as well, which I have as well now, which I like a lot.
This is getting very incestuous.
Shameless.
Yeah, right.
Self-promotion.
For all your
Shameless
Thunder McStruggan
plug.
needs, visit criticalhitdesign.com.
Critical Hit Design!
The self-promotions are promoting the other self-promotions.
Okay.
And
Can
let's
bag
make
of
order
tricks.
out of this chaos.
Yeah. A sandbag of tricks. You can get a jackal, an ape, a baboon, an axe beak, black bear, giant weasel, giant hyena, or a tiger.
It's a
An
D8
axe
then.
beak?
I think we got two of the funniest things.
Axe
the
beak's like a
baboon
giant
and a
bird
weasel.
thing.
Yeah.
None of those sound delicious to me.
You were gonna
And
add sounds.
Hard to kill to be able to cook up and eat, too.
Well, I don't think
Tiger
they're
might
that hard
taste
to
good.
kill.
Well,
The
Evidently
baboon
not.
would know.
baboons.
Now you said, Leland, you were gonna add sound effects in post, and you did not.
You did not.
I didn't
kind of
because I think
disappointed.
didn't Matthew do the sound effects? I didn't have to.
The baboon just winked, but I wanted to hear giant weasel. You know.
You talked about the sound effects, and then you actually told Elena to shut up because that's for post-production.
It's the
And then he
nature of
didn't
the
add it in
mind.
post. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so we head out. We go to the creepy aura, what remains of the creepy aura, to go verify that the barrel is actually gone. And so we go down. We have a quick discussion about how the bathroom doors are now. You can't tell which one's which, but it doesn't matter. We head on down to Tenchi's hole. Dreg essentially passes out because he is just he's beat at this point.
Not our fault.
Mia suggests that we send a message to Isabella to find out what her take is on how everything's.
And we all quickly agree that that's a terrible idea. It's a terrible plan.
Amongst other terrible ideas, though.
Yeah, we have plenty of them. That's for sure. So then we have some time off mic. Mia talks to Herafina. So
Yeah, there's nothing you can't know. I
That's
just
good.
didn't know what Leland.
That's good because I listened to it.
I just didn't know what Leland was gonna end up saying. You know.
Yeah.
So
Neither did I.
just to be
Fair
safe.
enough.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I had to. I was surprised that you.
I did put
prayed.
you on the spot.
It was good though. I liked it. I mean, it makes sense, and it was actually something that you kind of glance over in some earlier episodes, asking like, I think Shaft was like, "Well, can't you just tell Thor to come down and kill a Kraken or something like that?"
Yeah.
I mean, hell, Thor knows the Brightwood name. That's for goddamn sure.
Well,
Yeah, does he? I don't know.
Who are
I
they?
mean, they pretty much devote a whole town to him, right?
well, he's a
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
One
but I
town.
mean, you'd think.
One
Oh,
town.
yes.
maybe.
One
Yeah.
town.
They might occasionally catch his attention, maybe.
Barrack? Which Barrack? The one on Aspara or the one over on the other planet that exists? There's multiple Barracks.
So, nothing else you want to say about your off mic with Herafina?
I felt like in that episode, at that exact moment, I felt like tapped into Mia, and that Mia would feel like totally exasperated and be like, I need help. Like, so I'll take any help I can get. So
Well, I think the thing in your vision was the Infinity Vines, right?
Yeah. I guess I was leading up to like why I did it now compared to any other time. But yeah, I didn't know what she would end up showing me, but last time she showed up, good things happened, so I figured why not?
So what did you see? I didn't get to listen to it.
Vision. I can't, Leland, even for being on the spot, it was like really well worded. I don't know.
Yeah, it was cool.
I basically had a vision of these vines. Were they called infinity vines in my dream?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
that's
so.
what. Well, that's
I'm not
what we
sure
call
they
it.
were
That's
named
what
in the dream.
Or
Thunder's called them
Thunder
Infinity
said
Vines.
that title maybe.
I think Thunder was like, oh, the Infinity Vines, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I had a vision of these vines coming from the pools, which Thunder goes, oh yeah, the summoning pools, like duh, we should know that. And like crushing the shell basically.
So something can destroy this shell.
Yes, and she
Yeah.
didn't say like this is going to happen or this is one possibility, but I chose to play it as like this is what's going to happen if we don't do anything about it. And yeah.
So I think we all think the summoning. I think Thunder told us the summoning pools are what's going to bring out the Infinity Vines. So if we don't stop the summoning pools, that's what's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah.
And we also, everybody knows the chant, right? So if we just go kill, these different cultists, they're just going to fill right back in, right?
We
So
be
that's not a
chanting,
good plan.
we just be
That's
chanting.
right. Do you guys chant on your off time?
You've got to remember these chants. They're intricate. You got to keep on trying, I think. And yeah, with the Infinity Vines, it's like that is the case, right? That is what is going to happen. It's like the way that Mia kind of like interpreted that
Yeah.
is that's what they're doing. So
In your vision, did they come out of the summoning pools?
Yeah.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, so like it left a good jumping point for like this is what I saw, and then Thunder could jump in and be like, oh yeah, like and share what he knew with us,
Exactly,
which I thought
yeah.
was helpful.
that's
yeah.
that's actually a really good point because Thunder had some.
How else would you have brought
knowledge.
that up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we sort of jumped his case a little bit, and he's like, I don't know what you don't know.
We definitely have trouble getting all the information out of guest NPCs sometimes. So like
Sometimes?
that.
Yeah.
Well, every time. So it was a good way of linking that together.
Well,
I really like
and
that.
sometimes I may give guest NPCs a little too much info for them to reveal to you. So I'm actually glad Matthew remembered the vines, and I guess I was a little more prepared than I thought for this vision because I did speak with Matthew about the vines and stuff beforehand. So
Well, now I have to ask, did you get to say everything you were supposed to say?
Did I?
Yeah.
I mean, is there stuff that you didn't when we were done recording? You went, oh, I didn't.
Well, I guess
I
they'll
didn't
never know where the
this."
treasure is.
Oh, dang it! Where's Bryn? There's finally treasure.
It's true. Yeah, I think I had the information. All the information I had, I kind of gave. Really, that's pretty much.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It was just where the barrel was about the summoning pools, the Infinity Vines, were the kind of the key pieces of information that I had to give.
That's good. I mean, and listening back to those summoning pools were definitely mentioned pretty explicitly when we were on the top of the knowledge center. But I think at the time we were like, yeah, we don't know what that is. Like, I don't know. I glossed past it till this moment.
Right. Yeah.
And Leland, you said, I think we took a little bit of break when we were recording with Matthew, and you didn't even have that tent battle set up, right? That was pretty on the fly too.
yeah, I mean, I had to make the map, but like I knew what I wanted to be in there, and I knew what it looked like.
So I just felt like the way that we ended this guest spot was really well done for the fact that you had no idea what we would do. Giving you a compliment, okay? Just say thank you. Yeah.
supposed to say thank you. Yes, I
Thank
did
you,
do a
Leland.
good job.
Just take your
Leland,
hand.
we want to take a moment in this after party and just
Pat
thank you
yourself
for
on
all
the
that you do.
Oh, this is gross.
It does feel dirty, doesn't it?
This is
I feel
off-brand for
real
Matthew.
dirty.
I'm feeling very
gosh.
uncomfortable right now.
Gratitude and honest feelings. Oh God, no, I'm thankful for everything you do because I like the podcast. So I'm happy about it. Obviously.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So let's talk about what else we found in that basement.
Well, before that,
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah, before the Infinity Vines, Dreg also knew of the Infinity Vines.
Right.
Not much. He knew them by name at the very least, but he was also showed concern about their summoning. And he did say that you may be able to learn some more information about them on the book that you'd already shown
As
him
if we
from
have
the
time
outline.
to read.
Well, we just need to take an hour,
Of
sit
course.
down, read this book in
Of
the middle
course.
of being surrounded by all these cultists and cattle bleepers.
I knew I should have taken the
and
speed reading skill.
doppelgangers and all these other things. No problem. No problem. I'm sure they'd be happy to just let us be for an hour so we could read it.
Somebody take a note.
The very key information would guaranteed be in Sylvan, and you just would be like, "Oh well, great."
Oh yeah.
I
But
can
if
read
it's
that now.
written,
I
it's
got
written
it.
Good, yeah,
Shakara's-
okay.
yeah.
Friggin' Sylvan. I'm so glad Shakara
Dendar
has
for
that
the
ability.
win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Warlock. I mean, she has that ability till something happens with her patron, potentially.
So now we get to one of my favorite lines of this series of 3, when when Bill says, "What do you call it when two people are doing the same thing?" And we get synchronicity, coordinated, and coitus.
I said coordinated. He didn't even hear me because of coitus.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Just fixated on that one.
So yeah, you come back
Coitus
and go,
can't
you
get
don't
very
listen to your
loud.
wife. But two groups of people doing things at the same time, Falzarin reminds us, is called an orgy.
Where there's birds involved.
So yeah, then we do find down in Tenchi's area, we find a mirror which will allow us to polymorph.
Tenchi's area just sounds dirty.
Yeah.
Rawr.
Well, it does require, I believe, well, we'll get to that in a minute, I guess. We find a pouch with 2 beans. One of them is smushed, so probably not useful anymore, right?
Yeah.
And parchment, which ends up being a scroll of flying, which is really cool, but we all sort of poo-pooed it because we were hoping for some
Because
kind
we've
of
been talking about a
spell.
scroll of sending for days.
Right, so
Weeks,
yeah.
months, years.
I don't-
game
who
days.
took the scroll of flying?
Mia has, I
Because
think.
you guys were okay. Were you gonna let Falzarin scribe that into his book? I don't know if
What
we
do
ever
you
decided.
think?
Probably not.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
You should use that. Oh, you can already fly, though.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say you can literally be the only one that can already.
Right.
For 1 minute once a day.
Yes, nothing.
Unbelievable.
No, I think it'll probably be like given to Falzarin once it settles down. There's just a lot going on.
I was really, really, really tempted to take the fly spell actually when I last leveled up. I think it'd be really not for battle, but outside of battle. I mean, you could use
Why
it in
not?
combat, but
You could fly out of the way like a blink.
yeah, or you could just make yourself a big target in the sky for ranged enemies to attack and shoot you down.
We could have easily circumnavigated the city of Heraklion much faster if you could just fly over the wall.
I would love to see if you remember like Bryn's solo episode when you're robbing all this stuff from Blake Blakely. I would love to see a solo Falzarin espionage kind of
Oh,
just gotta break into like a building. You got your scroll of flying. That would be brilliant. I'd love to see how that would go.
Ocean's 11 would not be it.
This is going to be more of like a Mr. Bean than Ocean's 11.
You've done some though when you were in like Heraklion, when you've been running around going into people's like rooms and going through their like clothes and stuff, and
Yeah.
when you've all been invisible and meeting back up in the bathrooms all the time, which is great.
That's right.
But like a solo Falzarin like espionage adventure, I would listen to that. That'd be great.
That's a good idea. That would be a lot of fun. I envision Falzarin turning out to be a little bit like Inspector Clouseau of Pink Panther.
Yeah. You kind of just like fall into all the answers. I'd enjoy that.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yes.
There we go. That's our patron mini campaign. Patreon.
Well, every time Falzern goes off by himself, he either gets abducted or gets a scapulet. So, not a good track record.
He did survive the sharks in the water.
I'll just hide myself as a deep scion. That'll be safe.
Perhaps the dumbest thing I've ever done in this
He
entire.
looks in the mirror and he...
When I was listening to that, I was just like, "What are you doing? Why would you? You never even mentioned that as a possibility to Shaft. You never said, I might disguise myself as the enemy."
Oh, man.
Stroke of genius.
Yeah, I was going to take him out. That was my first. Let's kill
I
him.
immediately regretted it as soon as the words came out of my mouth, and
You're like, this deep scion looks the worst. I'll take him out first.
He looks the most inept. I can take him out quickly. Let's get rid of the weak ones.
Not to mention it potentially sows distrust. Like, if there was any suspicion that Falzarin is a traitor and it perhaps is a deep scion, well, you just saw him morph into a deep scion.
It came moments after a very long debate with spells of truth going on and all that kind of stuff about how you weren't a deep scion. The very next thing you do is jump in the water. Anyway.
Well, in his defense, he did say that the truth spell doesn't work on deep scions.
That's true, very true.
The deep scion magic, yeah, that's right.
Magic, yeah.
That was so funny.
I think I've hit bedrock in this hole that I'm digging.
It was great.
I will say, though, you are in the best company possible to do something so stupid.
That's true. Yeah.
That's right.
Can you imagine if it was Shakara? Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
At least I would be underwater, thankfully, so it's going to scorch me alive.
Eat flame!
Yeah, that would not go well. So then we have Dreg does give the ring to Falzarin and entrust him with it. We thought we were going to leave him there to rest, but he does end up coming along with us, and we decide to head up for the camp. Our plan at that point is to go check out the camp and see what we can do to be able to go and get the barrel.
Now, Leland, did Dreg come with us because he's concerned about our incompetence taking care of the Infinity Vines, or because Leland wanted more chances to play Dreg?
I plead the fifth. Now, Dreg came along because you might need some help.
Might.
Also, I do like Dreg.
He's pretty badass. Like, honestly,
he's quite powerful. Yeah.
So, okay. So the next thing we do is we get up, we sort of look over the camp. We see the pools. We discuss having a baboon diversion or how we can change each other. I think eventually we decide we're going to use the mirror. Well, we decide to use the mirror to turn Shaft into a copy of Thundar.
Thundar?
Thundar, Thunder. And
Thundar struggles.
After we do that, we immediately say, well, maybe we'll turn Falzarin into another. We would have the triplets go in, which would not draw any attention if everybody looks exactly the same. But so then I think Falzarin what he uses another spell. What did you use? Disguise Self?
yeah.
We thought about him just putting his hood up, but I did have a question for Falzarin real quick. What color are your robes? Because you seem to think you weren't going to fit in with the black robes.
Yeah, they're not black.
Took them off dead bodies, right?
You denied having hot pink robes. That's what I suggested, but
Yeah.
His original robe.
what color are your robes?
They're a bluish color, like a dark blue.
Like a navy?
Sort of, yeah.
Be more descriptive.
They could maybe be passed
indigo?
off as not indigo. No, it's darker.
Also, keep in mind, it is thunderstorming, so you are all soaked to the bone.
Yeah.
So your dark blues will look very black.
That's true.
Completely soaked through.
I just had a question, because, I don't really know what... Falzarin in my mind looks so much like Gandalf, but then I remember he's like 30, what is he, 30 years old?
Yeah, I would like him to be more like Gandalf, but...
Oh, yeah. See, I just picture Mickey Mouse in his blue...
Fantasia?
Fantasia.
Yeah. As soon as you said blue, that's the first thing that came to mind. Oh, he's Mickey Mouse.
I know you're trying to stealth around, but having 36 brooms dancing behind you really isn't helpful.
So, yeah, we look down, we see a pig being brought to Erica's tent, and a crocodile come out and devour this small piglet. I guess Leland was just wanting to let us know that there was something inside that tent that we probably would have a problem with, right?
Basically, yeah.
Why a crocodile?
That crocodile is Thousand Teeth the Devourer. And you all handled him pretty well.
Now, is that something that Bill could now use, or Falzarin could use polymorph with, now that he's seen it?
Yeah, it's just a giant crocodile.
I think giant ape's probably
Sick.
still top
Yeah,
notch.
you still want to go giant ape.
Maybe next time, have somebody come out, bring out Thousand Teeth the crocodile for devouring the pig. Maybe that would scare us a little bit more. We just went, crocodile.
Well, we killed the crocodile. If we could have gotten rid of it somehow, and then Bill turned into the crocodile, he could then pretend to be Erica's crocodile and kill Erica.
That's brilliant. Why didn't we think of
Eat
that?
Erica in her sleep.
Yeah. Defenseless.
That would have been a great... That's a really good idea.
That would have saved all kinds of time. So we do decide to sneak into the tent. Inside we found a desk, shelves, a bed, the barrel, a large crocodile, and a crystal minotaur.
Minotaur tartar.
So we head into the tent, and Shakara immediately cast flame breath. Right, this is before I have down
listening
that we
back.
did
I listened back to
the
that
spell.
with Tommy in the car, and I was like, actually, I probably wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have yelled because we just snuck into this tent, so I wouldn't have called attention to us. And I wouldn't have flame breath because that would have drawn attention also. So I would not have done either of those things.
But it was really cool because right after then we used the sphere to cast silence. So if you're a guard outside, you hear "Eat flame."
I choose to think of it more as we acted at the same time, so that your casting silence covered my eat flames.
That's exactly what we did.
Yes.
But the ball from Tenchi was a little bit swanky, right? I mean, didn't really work really good. What was the rolls that I had to make on the one?
Oh, I have written down somewhere.
Because I think initially I rolled a 50, which is right in the middle. So
Yeah. It was. I mean, you had a good chance of it working fine. If you rolled lower, what did I do? I think it was like 1 to 25 or something. It wouldn't work at all, and
okay.
Then to 50, it completely silenced or something. I forget what they are exactly, but there were basically 3 distinct. It worked as intended, silence everything, or it didn't work at all, basically. And you had a pretty good chance of it continuing to work properly.
And the peek behind the curtain is, in all honesty, you had to edit out reminding us that we had it.
Yeah, I almost forgot about it. Yeah.
We did not
Otherwise,
realize we had
that
it.
fight would have went a lot differently.
Yeah.
Or it would have ended a lot
So thank you
differently.
for giving that to us, and thank you for reminding us of it. So sometimes you remind us, sometimes you just leave Terry in the crowd and let us figure it out after.
Well, usually the things I don't remind you of, I also forget about. So
Such a benevolent DM.
Yep. So we go in. We have a little battle with the croc. Got some flaming spear stuff going on. The circlet of blasting
Ooh, that
from
thing's
Thunder.
sick.
Yeah. So Thunder is just being a lowly guy. Having a nice bag and having that circlet. I mean, you're pretty well equipped. How do you get these off dead bodies?
Well, it's amazing what you can find when you're just a lowly cultist.
You're burying people or hiding people after you've murdered them.
Thunder had just talked about his admiration for Bryn, which we kind of left him hanging with, but then gives the circlet to Shakara. Come on, man.
Thunder doesn't know that Mia and Bryn have anything to do with each other.
Okay, that's true.
They don't
that's
have
true.
anything to do with each other.
Yeah, they're not related whatsoever.
Exactly. And
They're related through me. Okay?
Thunder was trying to prove a point about kindness and trust at the end of the show.
So suck it, Shakara. Here's my magic item. Be nicer.
Here's a gift, and I'm giving it with the heart of in spite, which is the best way to give a gift to anybody.
Well, maybe I was reading into it, but I was like, maybe Matthew's new favorite character is Shakara. I don't know.
Who knows?
Don't force the man into picking favorites. Especially don't force him into changing his mind from Falzarin being his favorite.
Team Mia, trending on Twitter now.
My new favorite character is, I think Thunderbolt Scroggins is my favorite character in the whole.
That's fair.
Good answer. Good answer.
Then the benevolent DM, I think.
Oh no, are you a Leelander?
Suck up. He wants back on the show.
Matthew,
So,
are you a
Jeremy,
Leelander?
No, I'm not gonna buy. I'm not wearing a. What's it called?
Sleeveless
I'm not
shirt?
wearing a vest. That's not happening.
A sleeveless vest.
Sleeveless vest.
So I'm not allowed in that cult.
Nobody accidentally makes that mistake. So yeah, we sort of went through the battle pretty quick. I didn't write a lot of notes about that, but I do have a couple things. One thing is how many vials from Campbell that Shakara has.
Yeah.
Apparently a limitless supply.
I like that in the actual recording. You were like, yeah, I feel like I've still got a few vials knocking around.
I'm just going to keep saying that till he calls me on it. Yeah. I had a question,
got a big
Leland, about
bag.
legendary actions. Like, what makes... You said there was only so many legendary actions. I feel like that's the first time you've ever said that.
Oh, it's
When
just
we
the
played.
stats of Thousand Teeth. He's
Oh, okay. Because he's like a legendary beast. Isn't that what the
exactly.
Kraken is?
Yeah, like the Kraken also has legendary actions. So would a Lich.
Okay.
So, like the I guess I think that crocodile is only special because it's specifically named. It's actually out of Ghosts of Saltmarsh in the stats, and it's got lore within that setting of Saltmarsh, right? But it was pretty cool, and I liked it. And Erica also likes having pets, so
Yeah. She likes weird... Like, what is this crystal minotaur? Where'd you get that?
oh, that's actually also stats from Ghosts of Saltmarsh.
Erica's kind of from Ghost of Saltmarsh too, isn't she?
Inspired
by?
she's a sea hag, so it's very it's it's a coastal. Saltmarsh is a coastal city and very sea hag worthy, I think. So a lot of things fit, and actually a lot of inspiration for most of this. Like the if you ever fight the juvenile kraken in its state, there are juvenile kraken stats also in Ghosts of Saltmarsh. So
Oh, for real?
that was a really good source book for me to draw some inspiration from.
Oh.
I was just expecting people to start typing juvenile kraken. Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, Ghost of Saltmarsh.
See, that would be
We never-
smart for us to do, so
never
we
do
definitely
that.
won't do it.
That's true.
Yeah, it's too smart. Emily, can we touch on the flashback you gave me when you hit Mia? Did you listen to that? In this battle, Shakara hits Mia.
Oh yeah, we did have that in
And
the
you-
battle.
You kind of...
Oh, when I rolled the 1?
I'm still not over it a little
Yeah.
bit. It's kind of...
I was expecting a lot more shit from that.
I think on mic I played it off okay.
Yeah, it's just expected these days.
We were doing fine
Hey.
because John kept hitting crits. Like, what the heck? Like...
Well, Shakara took like 40 points of damage pretty quick in that croc battle. And then she was having a hard time hitting it. That's when she had to roll the 1 and hit you. But we did take it down relatively quickly as a group. I think.
Yeah.
We got some good XP.
I rolled
think,
really
in
well
that
on
fight.
the Croc's attacks too. I think its bite attack is 2d10 plus 5 or plus 4, I think. And like that first hit, I
And it's
rolled-
piercing damage, isn't it? Was it piercing?
Yeah, it
damage
is
as well?
piercing.
Yeah.
from his bite.
Yeah.
So I was rolling really well too. But then the Crystal Minotaur, made of the same stuff you found in the Hall of Rising. Thing.
Yeah. So if we got him, we could take him back to the
You
boat.
could feed him
using
to the
for fuel.
ship and probably give us some go juice.
I never made that connection until just now. Wow. I am
That's
really
strange
smart.
because I explained the connection in the episode.
You did.
And I've listened to the episode twice. I was puzzling, okay? Puzzler for life.
Yeah, I find that I think there's something up with this crystalline. These
what is all this?
These balls or whatever they're. I forget how you initially described them. I think they're ball shaped, right?
Balls of fire.
Yeah, they're about the size of a softball.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we learned that when I took like 12.
Yeah, you try to take them. They're a little more elongated than that, really.
Yeah, I thought they were more like. I'm not doing the hand gesture again.
Like a ball that's elongated and more like in the shape of a shaft kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Not, yeah. You understand, okay.
What did the giant weasel do in this fight again? Anything? Nothing good?
I think he gave it his all.
Well, it didn't
would argue.
die.
He didn't die because, no, he crawls out at the end.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What happens to these animals after they've been pulled from the sack? I mean, do they just live their life out?
It's never happened
normally
before.
If they don't get eaten?
They never lasted that long.
It never lasted that long.
They're either in battle or food, so...
Well done, you fought hard. Now I've got some bad news for you, little weasel.
They end up in the summoning pools.
They go out behind.
That's
They go out behind the shed.
That's what's empowering the summoning pools is just Thunder's bag of tricks. Three animals
times
a
a day,
day,
they're
just
like,
whoop, in the
Yeah.
pool.
Like, Thunder, we need some more tigers. Come over here.
We'd like to kick him out of the cult, but he's got
That
that
bag is so handy.
He's always surrounded by tigers. It's very difficult to even get close to him.
Becoming level 8, though, before this battle was pretty tight with my shatter, because it made my shatter 40 damage I could max out.
Yeah, you rock that Minotaur.
And shatter's really good on bulls. I learned way back in Goldham
Yep.
with Bill.
Yes.
So it was fun to end that stupid bull.
Yep, so that thing finally goes down, and
Yeah.
then we get to the whole reason that we went to the... Well, one of the main reasons we went to the tent was to take out my loving brother, Danzig.
Do you have a song prepared?
Take out the
It
matron
is tradition.
vessel.
I would like to sing,
Okay.
but I'm not going to.
I was ready for it. Danny Boy again or something?
No, Leland's the one that sings when characters die, but...
Do you
How
have a
about, I mean,
eulogy
Danzig
prepared?
was almost like a character.
No, he wasn't.
Mhm.
If I sang every time an NPC died, that's all the after parties would
We could put out an album.
This is a PC's brother-ish.
be. True.
I'm
Yeah,
right
I
here.
feel-
I mean, jeez. I mean, I don't feel...
You're still alive, okay?
That's true. I'm still alive. For
So
now.
far.
So, yeah, we did get Danzig out of the barrel, out of his gelatinous sack, and he was described as being the cross between a deep scion and a triton, and feminine, right?
Mhm.
I think you believe
That's right.
use what you said.
He's got boobs.
So the reason for that being...
Thanks for
you think-
clarifying.
well,
Just got boobs.
well, we've determined a long time ago that's how we know.
That's how you know, because if Gozer was a
Those
girl,
are set
Ah.
of precedent, yeah.
I notice you're a woman.
I might say Golder set a precedent.
Could I interest you in a shepherd's pie?
such a damn
Well, yeah, Falzern wouldn't hit
Oh
on
my
it. you know.
gosh.
But if he did, a shepherd's pie would be the way in,
Yeah.
right?
That's true.
So yeah, we pull Danzig out, and then Shaft has to do what he didn't want to do, but he did stab into Danzig to take him out, and right before death, opens his eyes and gurgles, and then he goes out. But we decide not to leave the body there. Somebody wanted to burn it right there in the tent, which I don't think
Think
we
that
have
was
any
me.
kind of spell that
I was just being dumb. Oh.
keeps the fire.
Yeah.
We did stick him in, as we typically do, used our body bag of holding. And
But we wrapped it up
Take
first
it-
so that
take
the
it.
yucky goo wouldn't get all over everything else in his bag.
did we wrap it
Yeah.
up?
We used one of the
Oh,
cultist
well-
robes and wrapped it up.
Oh, that was nice of us.
So that's one less robe to use to get out of the tent now.
Yes.
Yes.
But very
Oh,
respectful.
that's true.
We should have used Erica's
Yeah.
blanket from her bed.
Well,
Yeah.
that would make far too much
Gross.
sense.
No one wants to touch that thing.
Insult to injury is what that is. So.
Not only did they come in, kill my crocodile, my minotaur, steal my special
They
My
steal my
sheets!
Afghan.
20,000 county Egyptian sheets. You should have just skinned her crocodile and made a handbag out of it. Like, well, I mean, you got all the time in the world, apparently.
You really want a sea hag's blanket? Ugh.
I was nervous in there because we were dilly-dallying, I feel is the word for it. And it's just like anyone could have just come into that tent really at any time. But,
Yeah.
it all
We
worked
were
out.
looking at the knickknacks. They're very important.
Went on a shopping spree, essentially.
There's eyeballs.
You'd have an army on you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
If
they
they
might
knew
just be
you were in
lowly
there.
cultists, but get us together, we could do some damage.
Yeah.
We typically don't worry about the little things. So,
Like a massive army outside the tent. That's a little thing.
nah. Yeah. So, we do know the correct way to put a body into the bag of holding is head first.
Yep.
And I did like the line from Thunder that, wait till I tell Brent about this.
Oh, so
That's hilarious.
he was so good at adding that in.
So then we're getting ready to get out of there. We decide to go take a look around the tent, see if we can steal anything before we take off. Mia finds an eyeball in a jar with the eye. You know it's the eye of a cleric.
Yeah. What's that all about?
Who knows? We'll find out when I forget about it and then remember it months from now.
And did you know Mia's had an eye patch this whole time?
Yeah. I only have one glowing eye.
I will
Better than
admit,
this
there's
one.
been a lot of like interesting magical items and artifacts and stuff that have been thrown into the campaign of late, which is interesting.
Is our complaining working? Is that what's up?
No, maybe you're actually getting to some stuff that I had planned.
Leland's in a good mood for some reason.
Well, I will say that I did not expect this guest spot to end with the death of Danzig.
Really?
I did not think we were going to get to it here.
Oh, you knew it was going to happen. You just
Well, I
didn't know
mean,
when
I knew
get
you
to
were
it.
probably going to try to attempt it, but I didn't think it was going to be as successful as it was, quite honestly.
you meant to say the death of the matron's vessel, right?
I
Let's
said what I
just be
said.
clear. Let's be clear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know that that's the case. Could be.
I sure hope it is.
You still have some
sure
doubts?
hope it
You
is.
still have some doubts that Danzig's the matron's vessel?
I mean, we've got people on Discord claiming it's Keck.
Well, Britt doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about.
I don't know. I have to think there's a backup plan. They're not going to put all their eggs in one basket, right?
Yeah.
Well, did I ever at one did Thunder ever? Did you refer to that barrel as just that barrel, or did you ever say the matron's vessel? Because I can't remember if I never Thunder never confirmed that.
I
it was
don't
the
think he
vessel.
did.
I don't think. I guess.
No.
No, we did. We did say matron vessel. We did say that.
We did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think, I'm trying to remember. I don't think
There's no confirmation.
Thunder actually
though.
was like, oh yeah, that barrel with the little guy in it's the matron's vessel. I don't think so.
I think what happened was just like you referred to the party thought that was the barrel that Danzig was the vessel, and then I was like, oh, okay, cool, that's the vessel. I don't know. Yeah, I'll call it. Yeah, so I guess I was just.
I
Going
think you
along
might
with-
have confirmed that he was part of the ritual. Like, it's... I think. But anyway.
Well, he had never heard the name Danzig because I had to say, the guy that was at the ritual that you and I were both at, the little guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because when he was at the ritual where they were bringing up the Kraken, I mean, Danzig played a pretty big role in that ritual. So he and Surma were the main, and they've been doing that ritual for a while, right?
Yeah.
Because this was not the first time they tried that. They've been stabbing these poor guys and bleeding them out for a
Enough
while.
to turn
to
a
get
whole lake black.
Yeah, months and months.
Yeah, jeez.
Wow, just
That's some dedication. And were you fresh to the cult? I know you would have been in the cult for
Thunder
for
said he's a
probably
hard worker.
while, right? Because you joined the cult about the time we all met.
Yeah, I was kind of like on my way over, and I kind of like, yeah, that was the timeline. Is that right? Because I had to kind of work out the timeline a little bit with Leland about when I would, because it's like, how long have you guys been in the party and all this kind of stuff, and when would like when Bryn had left, because that's the reason Thunder left town was to go fight. Yeah, so that was that.
So yeah, Thunder and Shaft have both got into groups that they didn't think were a good idea. Things were not working out really well, and they both want off the island and out of the cult that they've found themselves in. Right?
Yeah, that's it. That's how I feel about it.
It's very similar.
There's a kinship there.
Situations. Yeah, exactly. So let's see. We found. I think we already talked about the gold piece with the I believe would be the first gold piece Shaft took. An oval disc, which we never talk about other than Shaft puts it in his bag. Any idea what the oval disc does?
Set your plant on it. Nice plant stand.
It's paperweight.
Is that
Paperweight.
we found it? Yeah. Was there a plant on top of it when I took the oval disc?
No.
That would be a clue.
No plants. You know there's no plants in Heraklion. Except for soon,
That's
the
right.
Infinity Mines. Just trying to bring a little life to this desolate rock.
Oh my
That's all
gosh.
they're trying to do. Trying to spruce the joint up a bit.
I always
Yeah.
pictured a few palm trees or something. Come on.
There's
Palm
zero
trees?
soil in this place for anything to grow in.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a scrying stone or a sending stone. A sending stone would be nice.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, Stone of Sending.
It's
Are
a
you
disc
kidding
of sending. You can talk into it, and it
just
just
zooms
looks like the
off
sending
to
stone.
I was just
find
gonna say,
whoever you-
That's right.
It's a disc of skimming. You have to really give it a good go, but you can get it across to the mainland.
So yeah, and then Falzarin finds the book with the everything that was said for the last 3 years in Heraklion.
That's
which
amazing.
seems pretty important, and you would think that would be a pretty big book too.
Oh man.
Just really, really little writing.
Yeah, remember each page looks like it has like minuscule writing.
Yeah.
So it's filled with a lot of shit.
Now, when you say every conversation, do you mean every conversation from everyone in Heraklion? If once you step foot on Heraklion, you're being recorded in the book, that kind of thing.
Possibly.
He's not going to give us answers. Come on.
I gotta ask the questions.
I
cannot wait to.
I cannot even.
Yeah, I cannot wait to get into that book and see what we can find out.
I'd start at the back and look at the index, just go down for Find Falzarin, because if you're just skimming through, we don't have that kind of time.
If you're a deep scion, we need to find out now.
I wanna find some entries with Brendel.
Ugh, of course you
Sure.
do.
That would be
Sure.
Get
interesting.
over him.
If
It's a
you
bad
did look through,
breakup,
would you see
but-
like Triton 1, Triton 2, Triton 3, Triton
Oof.
4, you know? So you see what they said when they were on the island? Because one of the Tritons was on the island.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would it be illegal to be recording conversations like this, or are there just no laws?
Well, who's the person who created this book?
Yeah, what the heck, man?
Erica had it. Great information. She knows everything. that
Yeah,
happens on Heraklion.
that's a very, very good point.
That's her when she lays in bed at night. She just reads through. It's like you guys with Discord. Everything that's been said for the past 24 hours. Trust me, you're not going to read through this.
You wake up to 400 notifications.
There has to be a way to search the book, because there literally isn't. You would not be able to consume that much information, right? There has to be a way to search the book for something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you have to be a level 15 wizard and you won't be able to look at it for ages.
That is what that oval disc is. Come on. It's like
An
it's like
index.
the Control F.
Yeah.
It's like find. Yeah.
Oh,
Let's hope. Good thing you took
Like a
both
magnifying.
things.
It's like a Ouija board of a book where it's like, show me Brendel.
Outlook
And it's
is
like,
bleak. Yeah, it's cool. It's exciting. I do like how things are kind of like ramping up in a few areas. I mean, some things have gone completely by the by. I mean, who knows what's going on with those towers? But everything else.
the what?
Towers.
Those
Towers.
Oh, the
Those
towers. Yes.
The
totally
what?
forgot about those.
So yeah, then we finally, after screwing around long enough and not getting caught, decide we're gonna take off, and Thunder is going to head out and cause a bit of a distraction in some way to give us the opportunity to get out. Before he does, he gives that. We've already talked about this. He's already given the circlet to Shakara, and
Thank you, by the way.
then He walks out, sees his buddy Terry Russell, and
gets a ration of shit.
Gets a little bit of hell from Terry, but takes off. Let's see. And then that pretty much ends the episode, but there is one final line that I think is probably my second favorite thing, or maybe my first. It says that Thunder says, "The only thing keeping me alive is I know I one day see Bran."
It's so brutal. I mean, it's on brand for you.
It's pretty bleak, though, right? He's living this
dark.
life.
So brilliant.
He's living
Little
this
dark.
life in hope of seeing the girl he's too scared to talk to, and
What's really weird, Thunder, is that Bryn doesn't even know you exist.
doesn't care.
I died.
She never
If Shaft
will.
would have heard it, if Shaft would have heard that, he would have said, "Well, she's dead."
Yeah. Bye.
Thanks for all the help. And that wraps it up. That was these 3 episodes.
Thunder jumps into the water to go to the island with the rest of the guest NPCs.
True. At least he got off the island, I suppose. That's where he was trying to get off at least off Heraclea.
Yeah,
That's all
take
he
us with
cares
you,
about.
man.
So, I really wanted to mention swimming at some point. That was definitely something I wanted to talk about. It's like, if only there was someone here.
Oh man.
I did ask what the weather was doing, which I was quite happy
I
about.
loved that.
I
love
that.
that.
Was good.
It's really easy when there's an infinite storm going on.
Still storming. surprisingly.
Still going.
We do have a couple questions in our Discord. Britt asks of Matthew, have you ever been to Denmark? And if so, what do you think of their little kingdom?
I've never been to Denmark, so that answers that question.
And I don't care for it.
And I don't care to.
Poor Brit.
I haven't. I mean, I'd like to. I'd love to go, but I've never been to Denmark.
She wants to know if any of her list of theories from the spoiler channel are true. So should we go through that or
Let's.
just say...
You can list them, sure. You can list them.
What she did was like, what do they assume is true, and let's just
And she
take
did
the
the
opposite. Exactly.
The Kraken is not going to become Kralakina. Shaft's brother is in the barrel, has nothing to do with the ritual. Keck is the matron's vessel. Drag is the leader of the cultists. One of the Tritons released Kralakina. Alamar is not trying to become a lich. Izzy has actual feelings for Falsey, but is trying to hide it to protect him. Erica is actually good, not bad.
I feel like
That
some
last
of
one's
those
absolute rubbish.
could have a bit of truth to them.
You think Izzy has feelings for you?
Well, that's the most plausible. But others as well.
That sexy scapula.
Not many of them. I will say, though, the best villains don't think themselves to be the villain, so
That's true.
who knows?
That's
Are you talking
true.
about us now?
There you go.
That's the thing. You're all being manipulated from above, and basically you're all going around fulfilling all these prophecies because
Yeah.
they wouldn't have happened if you weren't
Yeah.
there, right?
Are you watching Dark?
Are we the baddies?
We're puppets.
Bitch, I
Yeah.
never put all that together before. We are the bad
We're the
ones.
baddies.
Yeah,
You do keep on killing people. I don't want to bring that up.
What if Kralakina can bring some order to Aspara?
Wow.
Debatable.
Question from Emma. Being such a big fan of the show, Matthew, how was it to join the
Wow.
crew and play with them?
It was good. It was kind of weird interacting with characters who I know, kind of from listening to the show. Was strange. I was really excited about it, and I was quite nervous about the whole thing. But like getting to talk to the characters in character was a bit surreal because it was just kind of surreal getting to talk to the characters and like say, "Hey, Shaft," that kind of thing. Well, Randy, obviously,
Randy.
but
yeah.
because no one tells me their name for like 3 hours.
Oh, yeah, Randy, yeah.
Mia did.
You never got Shakara Falzern's name.
No.
Well, by then, I'm glad I could help. Mysterious strangers.
What, Terry Russell didn't tell you our names?
Yeah, well, that's the one. I think that's the one detail you didn't give. You told them the whole plan, but you kept your anonymity by just never mentioning who you were. These bunch of guys that come onto the island, they're going to kill everyone. I didn't get their names, if I'm honest.
It'll never hold up in court if you don't know their names.
But to answer the question, really enjoyed getting to interact with the characters. It was just surreal to get to talk to characters who I feel like I know really well, because I've listened to like 80 hours of those characters argue with each other, and so yeah, it was fun. It was really cool to get to do
Accurate.
that. So.
I, for one, liked having an NPC that knows the show really well and be able
The inside
to,
jokes and everything.
Get the jokes and
yeah.
even make some jokes from previous episodes. It was really fun.
Well, the one thing I was saying was that my character was kind of born on the banks of Lake Blakely, which is nothing, nothing to do with Blake Blakely.
Lake Blakely. It's in the Failuran Forest.
That's it. But yeah, it was just great to get to interact with everyone and stuff, and it's kind of but it was also difficult, right? Because I knew the characters, I knew all the information that everyone knows, right? And information that some of the characters don't know about each other. Because I've listened to all the episodes, I knew that, but I was not up to date with the recording, because there was like 8 episodes in between where I'd last listened to and the thing. So that there was a bit of like fog of war, because I didn't know that what happened, which kind of helped, I suppose, kind of distance myself from knowing every bit of information. But yeah, because I know everyone's backstory, I know everyone's been through and stuff, and obviously knowing that like Breen is dead the whole time and having that as my arc of like trying to find out was fun as well. But,
yeah.
But it was great.
It's sort of like you got kicked off mic for 8 episodes, right?
Yeah, exactly. I got kicked off mic, or you went on an adventure.
We don't do that a lot now. We haven't done that in a while, have we? Other than Mia's small thing, we've sort of
not since the party, not since Isabella's party.
Yeah.
We can't split up now.
But there was loads of splitting up, wasn't there? Like loads of splitting up
At the party,
and
yeah.
And then going off to see a Triton and going off to like raid someone's room and talking to Eric and all this kind of stuff. But then I imagine, because I've still not listened to those episodes, that you are actually finally working as a team to try and solve a problem.
We're splitting up in pairs a lot more then, right?
Yeah, like 2 of you going down the basement to look at Alamar's, all that kind of stuff, and then 2 of you going off here to go to the knowledge center and stuff. So it's like I listen to the show. I'm such a nerd. I did want to shout to the knowledge center.
Emma says, I'm not up to speed, but I think you joined the story while things were kind of crazy shitstormy. Did that make role playing harder? And are you bummed you didn't get to play Dreg?
I think it worked out for the best in that regard, because of like the character that Dreg turned out to be and stuff. Because there was I imagine, I think it would have worked out either way, but I enjoy playing Thundermug Scroggins and stuff. So I think that because I think there's more potential with Dreg as a character, as someone to keep on talking to and get information from, especially I think. And Thunder doesn't know anything, right? So, really. So yeah, I think it worked out for the best in that way, kind of. So that's good. I did have the option. I was given the option in the meeting before the show to be a traitor. I was given the option to be a and Leland gave me the option to say I didn't need to tell him if I was going to be a traitor. I didn't need to. I could have kept that to myself, but I couldn't do it. I was like, I can't. I was like, but I could have.
Well, it's pretty much par for the course, right? Everybody we meet's a traitor in some. You wanted to play it different.
You had to be outside.
Thunder is a traitor. He's traitorous to the cult.
He is.
Yes.
He's still a traitor, but he's on your side now.
That's true.
Fair enough. He's somebody we expect to be a traitor to us at some point, which makes it easy to get along with somebody like that. We already know.
Makes it easy to say goodbye to them too.
Well, and I haven't listened to it all, but like when Emma came on, right? We expect a guest NPC to be good, and then it just threw a wrench in all sorts of stuff, right? So.
Well, the jury's not out on whether Keck was good or bad.
Yeah.
Or
Keck is good.
I should say the jury is out. So.
Shakara thinks Keck is good.
Oh, I know what Shakara thinks.
Just remember Emma saying she told Leland she wanted to be an evil character.
I did not see that coming.
Just that whole truth circle thing.
Yeah.
I still think about that episode regularly.
It's insane, right?
I was just like, what? How is this? How can something that could be so cut and dry turn out to be so ridiculous? And because Shaft was like, well, I refuse to do this. I guess Shaft's got lots of secrets other than, hey, Shaft, can you tell us about all these secrets? It's like, yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
Never say yeah. If the role came out that way where I had to. I just didn't know if somebody's going to... Falzarin's perfect opportunity to ask a bunch of other crap that I didn't want to know.
Falzarin wouldn't think to do that, I don't think.
Probably not.
Probably not.
You're probably safe there. We had one other question from Dean. Dean said, "What was my question?"
Oh, that was his question.
He had a question, but he couldn't remember.
Oh, Dean.
Oh, Dean.
Well, save
thanks
it
for
next
asking,
time.
and it's pretty poignant question you asked there. What is the reality, really, in life? I suppose?
What is existence?
What does it all mean?
Well, I do think Thunder will end up on the island of misfit NPCs, hanging out with all the friends there. And at some point in time, we're going to land on that island and probably have a lot of... I don't think anybody on that island would want to kill us, right?
Nah.
All of our guest NPCs have left, with the exception of maybe Keck.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them have
If Keck's alive.
had any ill will.
Yeah, Keck is short some feathers and a loot.
I've heard that Keck may still want to kill Falzarin. But I think everyone that wants to kill the party currently is on Heraklion. So you're fine there.
Perfect.
You already got them on one island. I think this other island is going to be
Well,
safe.
maybe somewhere in that record of what everyone says, we can track down Keck and what happened.
Okay, Matthew, while we got you on here, what are your theories for the upcoming things? What about, Charles and Isabella?
It's the time to give Leland ideas.
What's your
Yeah, why do we keep doing this?
what do you think about as to be pointed? What do you think about Isabella? Where do you think this is going with her?
I just can't understand how anyone thinks that asking Isabella anything or talking to Isabella is ever going to be a good idea. She's like the main bad.
Thank you.
The whole thing.
Thank you, Matthew.
Just kill
She was
her.
really nice to me,
People
okay?
keep telling Falzarin to just give her a little dingle. Give her a ring. See what she has to say.
She's continually draining the life directly out of Falzarin's chest.
Yeah.
As this is all going on, as everyone's just like, well, but maybe she's nice. It's like, no, she's not. She's killing. It's. I think I don't know. It's interesting because it's like, I don't know. I just there's so much there's so many loose ends still.
Thoughts on Erica?
Because Erica's the stronger one, right?
We think.
Supposedly.
Seems to be. That's what Isabella said.
Yeah, so do we trust that? Who knows?
I think Erica's in charge of all the sea stuff, right? And
Yeah.
that's, I think. But then I don't know because Isabella's on her. I don't fucking know what's going on.
Why Chucky?
I've not seen that. I've not heard that bit yet.
Oh.
So I've not because that happened in the last 8 episodes, hasn't it?
Well, you do know that Chucky is there.
He's the general.
Right,
I mean, that's the only thing it is. He's
Yes,
a general of the army.
yes, that's right. That's right. Because
Yeah,
one of the tents was Chucky's.
Yeah.
Why would Charles and
Erica hook up?
No, the other
Sardo.
guy.
I guess
Sardo.
they've known each other.
Sardo.
But they've all known each other for I don't know.
There
'Cause-
was a post-credit scene where Sardo and Chucky brought Erica to the cultists.
What?
Was it there?
Oh,
I don't remember that.
What episode? What episode?
I would have to look it up, but it was one of the many that
Well,
I
see?
had told you all could listen to now.
Don't remember that.
I can't remember.
It's
all
quite
that.
don't
possible I
remember that
listened
one
and I
either.
just
listened to
forget.
the other one.
Too much. Too much.
Well,
Leland has built a very, very complicated world, and kudos.
That's the thing, right? Like, I'm kind of past the point where I think it's just like, oh, this person's here just because Leland thought they'd be a fun person to be here. Like, there's probably a reason. There's probably a connection. That's the way it's been most of the time so far. Whenever we figured something out, it's like, oh, that's how they're tied together.
Should have checked those other books in the back of the room. We were in there on our own. We had all the opportunity in the world. I do think you have to kill the Kraken next, surely, is the thing, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of
We
like
can't just
where
leave that
you
to the
have
Tritons?
If they can find it.
Point them in the right direction.
I think Shakara will have a hard time doing it now. She's made this love connection with the Kraken, and
I don't know if it's a love connection.
Shakara wants to slice open the hag.
You
that's
put
for sure.
your hands up to the glass together,
More like,
and
like
had a moment.
Yeah, like a pet.
Like a zoo animal.
Yeah,
Like an evil pet that's been kept prisoner by gods themselves. Yeah, that sounds
yeah.
real cute.
Yeah, when you put it that way, it doesn't sound as romantic, does it?
See, not a love connection. Shakara has a thing for Grimby and Grimby alone.
Yeah, Grimby.
I'll listen to that private episode. That'd be great. Come down here.
You'd be my first
All
matey.
aboard.
Where's my X card? X.
You're gonna be walking the plank.
I'm not being half-mast no more.
There you go.
Oh man.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So the other thing, Tenchi had like that scroll of fly wasn't there the last time you were at Tenchi's, and you also saw Tenchi in the keep at the party, and you still didn't really figure out why he was there or what he was doing.
I don't know if we'd be suspicious of Tenchi being at the party. There was a whole shitload of people at that party.
Stop giving us dots we didn't know.
No, but what I'm
connected,
saying
okay?
is
Like,
he's slunked off, and now his basement has some additional items that weren't there when you previously visited.
So he's either stealing or he has an inside person passing him things to sell.
Right.
ooh.
Right.
Probably the latter.
I mean, he's got to have some type of
Emily, you're so
network.
smart.
Had an inside person passing him things to sell.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Once again, Tenchi's one of those guys that I think Shaft would be on the up and up with. He's
Yeah, I don't think
He's-
Tenchi's a bad person. I think he's
shady.
just doing what he needs to do to get by. Selling magical
Yeah.
items.
Tenchi's
Which
a
is-
cool
I would
dude.
love a
Band.
tattoo. I want a tattoo.
I mean, I think
Tenchi's a
Shaft's
cool
looking
dude.
at it like, hey, here's a business opportunity in the future. We've got you got the boat. You've got the magic item transfer back and forth from the mainland.
Oh
You've
yeah,
got a
you
lot of
planned that all out.
opportunities here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's some money to be made with the Tenchi, and even with
Mia
the
doesn't
little
need
guy.
your money.
What's the little guy's name? That makes all
Tinrin.
the
Alstoff.
Alstoff. I mean, you could get a network going.
I think Alstoff's
magic
already in
items.
some kind of network at the moment, isn't he? He's kind of.
He is, but he's not really connected. I think. He's probably where Isabella and Alstoff are in the city together. I think
Because
in
of
his shop.
Cultists?
Yeah, I think Isabella's definitely in with the tower job situation and the mediator with the paladins. Right?
Yeah.
So I think there's something there.
Yeah, probably.
And don't forget, there's one of those cube things in that frog village. I think I don't remember. I mean, it's a long time ago.
There wasn't a cube.
We took the cube.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
what was that? Oh, there's some armor there.
Yeah,
I think, that you
armor.
got.
We left
Yeah.
armor
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Our disguise is all sitting
Yeah, your
in the mud
paladin's
somewhere.
disguise.
We'll
That's
be
what it
back
was.
to get this. Just hang tight.
I like those little guys.
Forgot.
Man, that was so
Like
long
you're wrong.
ago. Holy.
It actually,
Gozer was still around
in
then.
game, it wasn't that many days ago though, which is
Yeah, it's a couple
wild
weeks ago.
thing.
Yeah, a
right?
couple weeks
'Cause-
in game, yeah.
That was when you got those potions, and they were like 1d4 potions or something
Yes.
like that. So that's how long ago in game it was. That's crazy.
Yeah.
On the way to Goldham.
Poor guys.
Yep,
We forget
yep.
about all that kind of crap, right? I mean, we just drank some ale at one point, right?
Yeah.
We're sloshing around with that shit for Yeah, Falzern, redo your character sheet so you know the
hey,
shit.
I drank it. I drank that.
I still have my
Elven
ale.
Who has Brins?
Ale.
Someone take my ale.
Poured
I
it
took
out.
most of your stuff.
Pour it out.
We
right?
poured-
Oh
We
yeah,
poured it out.
poured it out.
Poured it out for Bryn. Oh man. Oh, that was a long after party. Whoops.
So nope, it was great. It was great to have you on,
Yes,
Matthew. It was
definitely.
It's good to be here. Thank you so much for having me on.
Good time.
It was great. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate being on the show. It was really fun for me. So it was fun for me.
It's
so,
fun for us.
So I don't care.
Well, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you, Matthew?
If you want more of this quality content, I do 2 podcasts. I do This Game's Broken, which is a board game panel show where a bunch of idiots are given a bunch of idiotic things to do, where we might have some incorrigible guests at some point, I imagine. And hopefully, when I can organise and arrange that in my life. And I also do another podcast called Death by Monsters, which is a show about monsters, mysteries, and the unknown, which I do with Paula Deming, who does Things Get Dicey, and Nick Murphy from the Brothers Murph. And that's like a paranormal podcast. It's fun, I hope, and that's what I do.
Fun.
And I do Order from Chaos as well, which I always forget about.
I like all 3 of your podcasts.
Yeah.
I listen to them all when they come out.
They're great.
Thank you.
Highly recommend.
Absolutely.
Leland, what do you think of this game? No.
I was quiet for a reason. I'm sure they're all fantastic.
I've heard nothing but good things. That's it.
All right, well.
Start it, John.
finished.
You gotta get that
Awkward
timer.
silence.
So we're gonna. I was just pausing for dramatic effect again. Okay, so I've been John and Shaft.
I've been Emily and Shakara.
I'm Elena. I play Mia.
I've been Bill and Faldrin.
And I'm Leland Steele. Happy adventuring.
My real life things will go through the roof.
It was just supposed to be a quick question. Shut up. Matthew, now that you've recorded with us and the magic's gone, are you going to continue to listen to the podcast?
The magic's dead, so I feel like I peaked. No, I'm excited, but is there any more podcasts to listen to? Is the question I have in rebuttal.
Currently, no.
There will be. There will be.
We got other
Of course.
content coming out.
The pep shot's coming out.
Pep shop.
I still very much like the podcast, so I won't be too nice while I'm actually talking to all your faces. Jeez.
We can handle
All
it,
right.
man. Lay it on.
I can't.
You can just see our heads getting bigger. All right.